this is Marie, and welcome to Marie's Chatty Tarot. And today we are going to talk about the New York Times um, uh, uh, crossword puzzle that was published either this morning or last night. So before we go any further, please feel free to share, like, subscribe. And for those interested, I'm going to be using the Light Seers Tarot. So apparently the New York Times published this crossword puzzle, and it's on the thumbnail, and if I can, I'll probably prop it up so you guys can see here. So basically, if you look very closely, you can see the symbol of the Nazi swastika that jumps at you pretty quickly, or that you pretty much can see it. No hiding. Now, I wanted to do a reading to see what's going on there, because we all know, when a cartoonist or a puzzle person or expert submit a cartoon or a puzzle, it gets reviewed by the editor before it is published. You cannot just put it out there and publish it without any oversight, or without any review from a third party. At least that's my understanding of how things used to be done. So now I wanted to see what's going on there. Why was this puzzle published, especially the one with the this controversial symbol? Now, just a quick side note, I do want to point out that the New York Times, along with other newspaper back in the time of World War II, they were very supportive of that regime. And if you go to the Wayback Machine, you will see a lot of articles that were published about, supporting the movement of, those bad people in Germany. So we want to take a look. What's that about? What does the universe wants to share about? Was it an oversight? Was it an accident? Was it done on purpose to expose those newspapers for what they are, being a sympathizer, or let's see what's going on there. I am very curious to see what the cards have to say. So the symbol of the Nazi swastika, it was published in a puzzle game in the New York Times. What was that about? And what does the cards want to share? So the first card is the World. The second card is the Fool. Situations. The third card is the Fourth of Pentacles, which represents the recent past. The Moon is the present. The Hierophant, future outcome. Two of Swords, clarification. Seven of Swords, clarification. Okay then, so the first card is the World. So the World tells me that this puzzle that was published is kind of like a signal to tell us that the New York Times is this chapter about the New York Times is about to come to a close, and a new chapter is about to open up. So every time that I see the world, it means that something is ending to give way to another. So either the New York Times itself is changing, or maybe it's gonna maybe I don't know if that means that is it gonna get sold, is the name gonna change, or is it gonna be a whole overhaul of the management of how things being done with the New York Times. But this tells me a chapter is closing and a new chapter is coming about, and it's gonna be coming in a big way, because the world tells me it's a trump card. So when you see the world, it's a major arcana. It tells me that yes, things are it's destined to happen. It's gonna happen in a big way, and it's gonna take some time. How long, I do not know, but the world means it's definitely happening, and we're seeing it happening now. The second card that represents the situation is the Fool. It tells me that the New York Times is about to move into a new chapter. The Fool means a new beginning. So that tells me again, either the name is going to change or the management is going to change. They're about to embark in a new journey. Because the Fool is the card, zero card. So it represents a young person, a young soul about to start a new journey in life, basically a new enterprise. It's a new project, a new a business. So that tells me that either it's going to be some reformation, overhaul, some major changes where the New York Times is about to change into moving into a new direction. So this is what this is telling me. So this is interesting. All this from a puzzle so far. Okay, the Four of Pentacles in the past tells me that for a very long time, the New York Times, they have been being a keeper of secrets, meaning that they have never really been working for the people. For a very long time, they have been keeping to themselves. You see this lady, she's holding on to her purse as if she's trying to be frugal. Now, that's a good sense of, being frugal, being conservative. The flip side of it is somebody being greedy, somebody who's hoarding, who's holding on to information, holding on to money. So all of the above. So for that case with the New York Times, for a very long time, or in recent past, they have been holding on to evidence, holding on to facts, holding on to vital information that the public would want to know, would want to hear. So because of that, they have been not forthcoming, not truthful to the American public, to the world. They have been hoarding, keeping to themselves vital information, vital facts that would have changed our perception about the world, about everything. So that's the recent past. Present time, the card that appears is the Moon. So the Moon tells me that there's a lot of, so the Moon is a emotional card, meaning that there's a lot of lunacy, a lot of illusion, a lot of dysfunction, funny business going on within the New York Times right now. It doesn't seem that they're organized. They don't have a clear purpose, because the Moon represents that things are a little dark right now, that things are not as clear as it seems or as it should be, that there are some dysfunction going about within the management or within the New York Times itself. It's as if you see this lady drowning, not having a clear purpose. And again, things are not being as it seems. Again, it's a Moon card. It's a major arcana. It feels like there's a lot of, it's that dysfunction is pretty big right now at the New York Times, that they have no clear direction whatsoever. And because of that, and this is in the present time right now, and because of that, a lot of information coming up. This is the Hierophant. It tells me in the near future, a lot of more information is going to be revealing itself about the New York Times. So I guess because of their dysfunction, of things not being clear, either within management, or there's no cohesiveness, or because there's some lunacy going along. It's going to reveal itself to people. The Hierophant is basically a card that tells me that the New York Times is going to show us who they really are, and it's going to educate us how badly they have been lying to the public. So this card, Hierophant, is organized chaos. We're going to see, it's going to manifest to the world how crazy they've been or how unfair they've been writing articles that's not beneficial to the public. So in a way, they're going to educate us to their madness, what they've been doing behind the scenes. You know, that moon that you see in the present time is going to reveal itself to the Hierophant. So it's as if they're educating us of how they've been operating, who they really are. They're going to show us, reveal themselves to us. Now, with that, so clarification with that Two of Swords. That Two of Swords tells me that they are, they have been sitting on a threshold, not knowing what to do. Two of Swords is a lady that's blinded, not in denial, not ready or willing to make a decision. You know, do you still go along with the narrative of keeping secrets, or do you actually do your job and tell the truth? So right now they're in a certain position, not ready or not willing to make a decision either way. So they're kind of stuck, which is playing the Moon card with the present time, the confusion, the delusion, and not seeing things clearly, because they're confused themselves. They don't have a proper path, a proper vision, a proper goal. So right now they are in denial. And this is what the Two of Swords is telling me. And the other clarification card is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is that because of their lack of doing what is right, because of not telling the truth and concealing information, they are being attacked left and right by the public, by other social media, by other newspaper. So they are being attacked, and they are being exposed for who they are. So that's interesting. So let's take two more cards and see what else. So the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is a movement card. The Knight is basically a person who, what moves them is passion, inspiration. They're very charismatic. They're very driven, ambitious. So it's as if there's a group of people driven to either expose the New York Times for who they are, and they have been patient with the Strength card. The Strength card is basically it's a patient card as well. And there's a group of people slowly, very driven, very committed, and also patient in exposing the New York Times for who and what they really are. Because usually that Knight of Wands for me represent the good guys. I'm going to leave it at that. So that's interesting reading. So wow. So thank you guys for sticking with me to the end of this video. Please feel free to share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.